Hi. Come on in. Give these cards a good shuffle. We're here with your weekly guidance. I think I'm a little early. I'm a little bit early. There's lots on the agenda. Come in, say hi if you're catching it live. Type hashtag replay if you're catching it on replay. If you're new, hi, welcome. I'm Angela. I come on every Monday to do your weekly guidance. I'm like, is this supposed to be a 2-week one? We'll have to wait and see. To see what's happening over the next 7 days. Bringing through as much divine guidance as we can to bring through some validations and reassurance that you are on the right path. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Amy Lynn. Awesome. Oh my God, 8 cards. I am going to do a 2-week. I am going to do a 2-week because I'm not going to be on next Monday. So we're doing the 12th to the 18th as well. Look at me. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Judy, Daisy, Edna, Terry, Kimberly. Hi, everyone. Hey, Sharon. All right. So I just remembered as soon as I hit live that this is going to be a 2-week weekly guidance. My husband's having surgery next Monday. I will not be here for that. Guys, everything is happening at once. Everything is happening at once for us. So we are doing our best and we're getting through. All right, so let's start off with the weekly guidance for this week from the 5th through to the 11th, and then we'll go into the week 2. Don't forget, you'll want to hang on to this video to catch it on the replay and then come back. I will reshare it next week so that we have week 2 coming up for us as well. All right, so we do have the Empress card coming in. Okay, so the Empress card is really kind of listening to that internal voice of, let me handle it, let me get to it, let me move forward. This is high action, but I do see you slowly taking action. So this isn't like we're running full speed ahead. This is something that we are putting into motion, deciding that we are going to do what we need to do, right? Take these steps, make these changes, etc. And so any of these thoughts, any of the divine guidance that you're receiving are feeling as though, ooh, time is lining up, I am now ready, then this would be validating that you're on the right path. They're also saying the good that you do is coming back to you. There is a lot of abundance. There is a lot of love and support. They also kind of just showed me like a door opening that we did not foresee, right? And so there could be new opportunities. You could be taking some actionable steps, maybe a little bit spontaneously, but bringing through a lot of security around that, okay? There's the amazing opportunity. So again, what's so interesting is I can feel the excitement around these messages, but honestly, energetically, we feel still a little bit low. Okay, we're feeling a little bit low. And so take the time that you need, right? I think what do? We go into self-criticism. We go into feeling upset or what's wrong with me or I'm not good enough mindsets. The thing is that it's coming to you because it's meant for you and it's coming to you in the time that it's meant for you. Therefore, you are ready. Okay, you are ready. Wanting you to allow your essence to influence and increase the experience. You aren't to walk this path. You aren't to take this opportunity or walk through this experience trying to do it like somebody else did it. You can only do it the way that you do it. And so that means however you're feeling and showing up is authentic, is exactly as it should be. So whenever that little voice comes in your head, wanting to course correct, because it's you and the energy that you bring to this experience that is going to make it positive and abundant. Okay. There does seem to be worry around someone whom you love, someone that you care for. And there is very much this feeling of you are then taking responsibility for them. So whether this is a child, a lover, an ailing parent, there is almost this feeling of needing, and it's so interesting because I'm like, ooh, that just made me nervous to say that. you need to know where you end and they begin. We are not meant to take on everybody's experience. It doesn't show that we love them. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help us. And so by suffering because someone you love is suffering is not as productive as it may feel. It is not as supportive as it may feel. Okay, we can feel for them and have compassion for them, and worry for them, but they're being way more blunt than I'm being. You can't take it on as your own. This is not about you. It's about them, right? And so there needs to be a disconnect. You can't show up for them in the ways that they need if you are making it about yourself, or emotionally that's what it feels like because you're taking it on as though it is happening to you. And I get that. I'm a mom. I have love for people in my family. Like I understand. So I don't want no pushback. But there is such truth to that by me, and even like for an example, everything that Becky has been going through, me putting myself in what it must feel like for her isn't helping her. Right? Like it's not focusing on the details and the graphic details of everything that she went through with her surgeries and stuff isn't helping her. It's actually paralyzing me from being able to support her in the ways that she needs, right? And so there needs to be a disconnect between what they are experiencing, what you are experiencing, if you want to show up for them efficiently, okay? And I think that's so important. I understand that this is where we feel that we are helping them because we feel connected to them, but it is not what they need. And it's not benefiting them in the ways that you may think. And so taking a step back and going, okay, what is needed here, right? I think is going to be very helpful, and also helps you maintain your energy so that you have longevity in being able to be consistently showing up for them, right? Or giving them the space that they need, right? A lot of the times as well, we unknowingly spin things, and then all of a sudden those who are going through something are then consoling us and trying to make us feel better. I hear this a lot when I have honest conversations about the grieving process, where not only is losing your loved one it makes you feel very isolated because people don't really know, they tiptoe and they walk on eggshells, but also the person who is then grieving, it finds themselves trying to console others instead of honoring themselves, right? And so that's really where we lack in emotional intelligence, and where thankfully emotional intelligence is getting more mainstream and more in the forefront so that we can learn and grow and expand, because there's such a void there. Okay, and if anybody has ever went through anything, lost someone, had significant grief, had a struggle, had a divorce, you know that people more often than not are saying the wrong thing, putting their foot in their mouth, not showing up in the ways, ghosting you, not being able to show up in the ways that you deserve or that you would expect or that you would for them, right? And it's not something that is a reflection of your character. It's a reflection of the lack of emotional intelligence that we have as a mass consciousness. Okay. We do have the Hermit card coming in. There is, again, wanting to be a little bit insightful. There is this need to go within. There is this feeling of, we're looking outside of ourselves. We're looking for someone to tell you the answer. The answer's within. The answer's within. Even today, there's daily message over on TikTok that said, you know exactly what needs to be done. You do. I put money on it. Okay? If you sit with that, if you sit long enough to get under the discomfort of, I don't know what to do, right? And trust that you do know what to do, you'll be amazed at the solutions, the insights, the ideas that pop in. Okay, so there is this need for reconnection with self, for quiet time of going within, meditation, journaling, sitting quietly, putting the phones down, sitting out, connecting to nature, all of this stuff. Okay. There is a decision that needs to be made, and it has a little bit of a learning curve. I can definitely see some hesitation because we've never done this before. I don't know if I'm ready. The answer is yes, you definitely are. I think that you need to ask the questions. I think that it'd be important for you to say yes, but research or research first before you give a decision. There is this kind of hesitation, but the hesitation is just a bit of self-doubt or a bit of vulnerability because you've never done that before. Okay. And so this week, energetically, even though I can feel it's positive and it's like a slightly uphill, so like we're moving in the right direction, I think we are on the experience level going to still be a little bit like this. Okay. So as a whole, probably looking back in hindsight, you're going to be like, yeah, no, things are increasingly raising vibrationally. We're getting there. Things are moving along in hindsight. In present, moving through it, it's still kind of 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, and this kind of up and down energy. So just a little bit of patience that is needed with this. And just this little bit of, again, just going, oh, this is just where we are, right? This is just where it's like the weather. One day we have sun and we feel sane, and the next day we are not. It is dark and gloomy, and it's dark and gloomy in here. That seems to be still that type of experience over the next 10 to 14 days is what they're saying. Okay. They totally are. Thanks, Kelly. It was sunny the day that I got my nails done. All right. So we are doing, this is going to be a 2-week video. I will update the description once the video is done. So the second 4 cards are now for the week of the 12th through to the 18th. Ooh, already higher vibrations. There seems to be relief and ease that's coming in right away, and a little bit of heightened energy. So even in reflection of feeling through the first half of this card reading, I could feel the messages being positive, but energetically it didn't feel like we were quite there, right? Here we are in this higher energy where the flow seems easier. It seems like things are coming and going with more ease, which I love, okay? The Dreamers card coming in, this is new beginnings. This is a new way of life. This is something that requires an adjustment, is what they said. So give it time. This is a positive. This is a win. But again, give it time, okay? We need to let things work out the ways that they're meant to, and follow the process. Let it do its thing is the feeling, okay? And so reviewing, reflection is going to be really purposeful. They also make me feel, especially the first half of this week, it also makes me feel like there's a lot of insight coming in. So having a little journal on the go, having this, my new little rainbow journal, having it close by, inspired ideas, inspired downloads, solutions, creative projects, that type of thing, you can expect kicking up again in the beginning of week from the 12th to the 18th, okay? There is a little bit of a setback or a letdown, and this really can kind of make us feel a little bit overwhelmed, okay? There is a star card saying, like, listen, have faith. Things are going to be fine. But there is this day where we're kind of, feels dreary, feels like a rainy Tuesday. We feel like we're down in the dumps, right? And so a letdown or setback can come in as hurt feelings, can come in as a disappointment, could come in as quite literally a letdown, a conflict, that type of thing, feeling under the weather, getting poor results, that type of thing. Now, they do come out with the star card again, which is saying have faith that the future is bright, dreams come true, positive change that bring end to challenging times, okay? And then it also comes out with the magician card. And so this is temporary, okay? This is not... this is a letdown or disappointment. This is not a devastation, okay? And so there is this need for you to process. I think have your cry. I think give yourself that time. But we are, again, validated with 2 very positive, high vibrational cards saying, like, listen, yes, this stings. That sucks. It does. We're not going to say that it doesn't. It does. But that's not the end of the story. Here we go. Off we go. Things pick up again. Okay. And so just remind yourself that when you're in it, right? Easier said than done, but when you're in it, you do need that reassurance, and that's exactly what that brings. Not only does the Star card come out, but then the Magician card, again, very positive. Magic is alive in your life. What you need to be a success will manifest. So it may be a no. It may just be a not this way, right? And when one door closes, another opens, and that's exactly what these cards are showing. Okay. There is relief. Now, isn't this interesting? Because in the week 1, we did have worry around someone that we love. In week 2, we do have relief in positive answers connected to someone that we love. Okay. I'll be interested to see if that's like a week-long experience for you guys, or if we're talking about 2 different people. It kind of feels like we are, but this is someone that we love, someone that we trust, someone that we want good things for. And I think that, you know, things haven't always been easy either for them or with them. And then the World card comes out and says brilliant success. So there is this enlightenment. There's also good news coming in by telephone. So like, I got the job, I passed my course, I'm getting married, we're having a baby, that type of stuff, like big milestone things that I think that we were worried about right to that last buzzer, to that last minute. So that's nice to see that this is coming in a positive, and that people are sharing good news, or you're sharing good news with people who you love in that second week from the 12th to the 18th. There's a little bit of pressure coming in. Listen, when we're trying to do something different, or we make decisions to change our lives or heal or welcome in new experiences or walk away from experiences that don't serve us, we tend to be very rigid. There is this kind of high probability of trying to be perfect. And like, because it feels like there's so much, you know, skin in the game here, that any mishap feels disastrous, right? It feels like any setback, any obstacle, any bump is just going to prove to us that we knew it. I wasn't ready. I'm not good enough. It's not going to work out for me. But it is. You have the strength and the ability and capability, and there you are, that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Okay. So there does need to be a little bit of reassuring yourself, because look, the Emperor card came out, which means you need to step into the leadership role. You need to handle this. You need to dust yourself off. You need to perk yourself up and be that warrior for yourself, right? And so that's hyping yourself up. That's forgiving yourself when needed. That's asking for help when overwhelmed, cutting yourself some slack, giving yourself a break, that type of thing. That's the way that you're going to get through this. Okay. It says news of exciting opportunities. You're only going to see this when you allow yourself to be imperfect. You allow yourself to do the best you can through this transition, because this does seem to be a 6-week window where we're expanding and we're shifting and we're changing. Okay. This could be a move. This could be a reno. This could be learning, taking a course. This can be, it almost feels like an ending with a new beginning coming in. So, giving yourself, the ability to walk through this experience that you've never done before, being imperfect, allowing yourself to make mistakes along the way. I know as we hear it, being like, yeah, of course. But when you're in it, it's totally a different experience. So giving yourself permission to be how you are in that moment, giving yourself what you need for yourself in that moment. All right. Looks like a really good 2 weeks. It does feel like as I'm getting to the end of the second week that things are picking up speed-wise. So remember how we were saying like nothing in this year is happening as fast as we want it to. Everything is taking time. There may be some delays. There may be some shifts in timelines. Our expectations are not really aligned with how things are going to be coming out. It does feel like, oh, that's working out a little bit quicker than we anticipated, right? And so a little boost in timeline energy behind it, speediness to it, which I think we will welcome, because sometimes it's hard to keep the motivation and keep the faith when everything is in slow-mo, right? So that's kind of nice coming in. I would be very interested to see coming into that third week of May of what the messages are going to be that week. But the video will be posted here. Replay is on YouTube. I brought back the daily video messages over on TikTok. Replays posted on YouTube instead of the podcast. It is on my end much easier to maintain, and it will be way easier to be consistent with it moving forward. Having lots of fun over on TikTok. So if you're not following me over there, head over to Medium Angela McClellan, and there's also some more fun, casual content over there as well. I hope you have a wonderful 2 weeks. We will take prayers for my hubby, and I will be back on the 19th. See you then.